dollar bill.
Oh, nice.
They're fake as fuck. But hello and welcome. My name is Robert Lyon. Today we're going to be talking about how to make some real money, some real Benjamins, not these ones, but how to make serious money. All right, that's what I want to talk about. No more little side hustle bullshit. I want to talk about how to make substantial cash, substantial income. Um, so I mean, I've got a little bit of a list. If you want, we can go into it. But what do you think of, Gino? Like how do you plan, or how do you like what is a good pathway to make serious fucking money, like Rockefeller money, or like to not just basically live the 9 to 5 or bullshit, but like break out of the normal range of income, normal range of capital.
Yeah, that's one thing I've been thinking about for, before I quit my job. And that now that I still think about it every day, how to break through that barrier every time you hit a kind of like it's a glass ceiling, and you want
Right.
to just get out. You want to break that glass ceiling. I mean, honestly, to me, the biggest thing has been, being able to bring value, right? if you
Right.
have if you have any kind of value that you can bring to the table, whether it's your skill sets, your ability to talk to people, whatever skills that you currently have, you can bring that value to the marketplace, and you will be surprised how much you'll be rewarded for it.
Yeah.
Being able to provide either a service or some kind of value that you can provide to others, but fix other people's problems. So for me, I realized that the biggest thing for me was, I had to find that purpose of what I'm doing this for. Once I figured that out, then I was able to figure out, that there is nothing that can stop you from breaking through that barrier. And then once you do that, you start to realize that your biggest enemy is yourself. And then once
Yeah.
you start mastering yourself, you start to break through new heights, right? You start to take on more and more risk. Most people would say, oh, you're taking a risk, this is dangerous, this is scary, what are you doing? You should, you have a great job, or you're standing here, you got this great place to live, why are you going to risk everything to change your life? Well, the reason is because if you don't, nothing will change.
Right.
So that's what the biggest change that somebody that's either working or in a career that needs to realize, that they need to change something that they're doing. They change their environment and start changing the way they move. To me, it was starting to realize that I have to find ways that I can profit at a fast rate. And as much as I love real estate, it's only as good as as fast as you can move real estate. So you have
Yeah.
realized that real estate wasn't going to be the only vehicle. It is definitely a vehicle that you can use, like wholesaling. Another thing was for me was, well, how to having a job wasn't going to be it either, because the job just gives you a salary and you're set. So you
Yeah.
need to have something that will change either someone's problems, fix someone's problems, or be able to create value to the marketplace. And sales, to me, fastest way to making money is sales.
Mhm.
Direct sales to customer or to businesses is the quickest way. And marketing has been the secondary, or the senior to sales will be marketing. So find something that you can either do, you can either sell, or you can provide a service that will help other people, and put that on the marketplace. Market that, create that your vehicle, and put together, either start taking sales calls yourself, or start building a sales team to start breaking that barrier. I think that's the quickest way to fast stacks, from at least what I found, as far as getting to the money. Because at the end of the day, you talk about it always, Robert. The money is coming from the people,
Yeah.
coming from other people. So it's not like, these corporations are taking money from the government. The government is taking money from us, from our taxes. So at the
Right.
end of the day, it comes back to us. The people have the money. People are the ones that are going to either help you or break you, right? So you build the right relationships, and you start getting mentors. So what I want to get back to is really what changed my game while I was just an engineer, was finding the right mentors to kind
Yeah.
of get you to the next level, to start think outside the box, and then start to really implement those strategies that you knew about them, but you didn't do them right. You knew about them. There's like the Burr method, doing real estate, buying and selling, selling products online, day trading, whatever you were thinking about doing, instead of just thinking about it, actually get a mentor that will teach you how to do that thing, because they're already in it, right? They're already doing it. You need the mentors. So that way you don't have to go through the same struggles and the same mistakes that, everybody's going to go through. So that's the biggest key, is find the right mentor first, then learn whatever you're interested in, right? If you don't have anything already, find the right mentor that your interest is in, and then learn from them, and then create your own product or your own service, and how to build that up yourself is the fastest way to riches, at least in the current marketplace right now. Obviously, wealth is still real estate, but I think buying and selling houses is another method. But again, it takes a lot of capital. So you got to start with something, and the best way is find a mentor, start learning something, and start being able to make quick money by selling your service or your value that you provide.
Yeah, but it has to be high ticket, is what I'm trying to say. So what I'm looking at is, I made a little stupid list of like all the biggest ways that I've came together to think about how to make big money. At the end of the day, though, they all boil down to two things, right? You have one, a system or a product that makes fucking money, and two, a shitload of attention. You know what I mean? Like, those are the two main things. The other one I'd say would be, the third is like, find your edge, right? Have an edge on something. You got to have that little bit of edge to be ahead of everybody else. But it's always comes back down to those things. It's like, have a money making system. Even at the highest level that I can provide value to people is like, when I tell Gino and everybody else, it's like, create your own economy. That still is just a money making system. It's just multiple money. It's like a money making solar system now, right? It's got multiple little systems that are all making money. So that's your own economy. But then at the bigger part, you still need attention, right? So it all comes down to having attention, adding value, having an edge, and pumping them all into your system, right? And that can solve solutions. I mean, that's why I got so excited, and why we're basically here with Credit Leverage X. It's like, I saw the opportunity to help everybody. But then we figured out, well, we can't help everybody. We want to help investors and entrepreneurs, but there's still so many of those people that there's a lot of people that we can help, right? So he has the ability to scale like crazy. Because we have, that's the product. And then the attention is, we're doing lives, we're putting out videos, we're going to make better content, we're going to make higher quality content. But it all comes back down to those two things, I would say. So the way to make a shitload of money is to have a lot of attention, and then have the best money making system you can possibly make, right? Maybe you don't even need that much attention if your system is just so good at making money, right?
Right.
I think those are the two things. Yeah. And it's just like, the other thing is, like, it has to be a system, though. Like, you can't do it all yourself, right? You have to have a team doing the work, and it has to be scalable as well. I've ran into a lot of businesses where it's just not scalable because it's just you doing a lot of the work. Like, you can make some good money, but you have to do all the work. So you're never going to be able to get to the real money, to the serious money, right? The other way to make serious money is to own lots of assets. But I mean, an apartment complex or a house, they're just money-making systems on a smaller scale, and you get more and more and more. Each of them are making their own money, but you still need attention for those too. You need to attract people to live there. You got to attract the right people to live there, so they don't break all your shit or ruin your apartments or houses and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And they have to be able to afford to live there as well. But I think it boils down to that. Like, if you want to make serious fucking money, you got to have a lot of attention. You got to have a really good system, a really good thing. And then you also have to have an edge. You got to have some advantage over the marketplace, right? What's cool about funding is, I don't think it's it's not that it's very complicated, but it's not that it's super competitive. Sure, there's some people in the niche, but nobody does what we do, and we've been able to create our own blue ocean. So maybe that's the right word. It's like, you got to have a lot of attention, you got to have a great fucking system that makes money, and you got to create your own blue ocean. You don't want to be out there in a red ocean where everybody's killing each other, right? Because then you're just going to get, everybody can beat you at any moment. You have to create your own edge, your own blue ocean of opportunity, so that you can take over, right? So that you can scale infinitely, right? So I think those are the main ways to like make big money. But what else do you think?
Exactly. Yeah, that's and I think that's where you hit it. Like, a lot of people do funding, right? Funding is everywhere. Like, people can fund all the time, but the thing is how they do it, what they do, how they provide a service to the client. There's a lot of things that can be done, as well as being able to educate and support the client along the path of and investing. There's a lot of people that just do investing. There's a lot of people that just do coaching, but that nobody really puts it all together. That's the thing. Like, it all needs to come together, because you need the money, you need the coaching, and you need the investment opportunities They all need to come together. And that's what we do at
Mhm.
Credit Leverage X. We bundle it together and we get you the opportunity to have all three in one program. And I think that's what's fire about Credit Leverage X is that we actually have the ability to get you the money, get you the coaching you need, and also help you invest if you haven't already have an idea or you know what you're going to do. So that's that thing, all that combined, you're able to just scale infinitely because you're able to make less mistakes and be able to focus on what matters and put your money where it's actually going to make you money versus trying shit out and then failing and trying stuff out and failing. And also having a mentor. Even when I was getting into real estate, I had to get a mentor because I've never done wholesaling, so I had to learn about wholesaling. I knew that really. I knew I was already doing real estate, but I didn't know about wholesaling and sub two. Like all this stuff came to me after from learning from Pace Morby and also Rutherford. These guys, they taught me the game in that area, so I learned a lot from them. And at the same time, I came back and I started to put that into my system, into our
Yeah.
my product. And now I'm able to go ahead and use those services, my knowledge, my mentor's knowledge, which I learned from my mentees, and I'm bringing it to you in one bundle versus having to meet each one of these individuals, going through each specific program, having spent thousands. I spent thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars on self improvement books,
Yeah.
study guides. I am a product of over $500,000 worth of education, if not more.
Mhm.
That's what kind of what makes a mentor, a mentor. And
Yeah.
then I think that's where Robert can speak on how much work he's done to get to where he got, it's not easy, but going through the process, yourself is going to take a lot of time, right? We've been doing this for over 12 years. I've had ups and downs, and near bankruptcies, becoming if you're an entrepreneur and you haven't gotten close to bankruptcy, you haven't done it right. It's almost like you have to go through that process. It's not necessarily like filing, but at least getting to the point where you try to do something. Most millionaires have gone through negatives and they come out winning because they never give up. So
Yeah.
and that's where it really comes down to. I think being able to provide a product to clients that that you like to do, that you want to do, and that you want to do every day, that makes you want to get up in the morning, and makes you want to get on the phone or get on the call and talk to your clients. That's what matters, and because you're going to be able to provide the best value that way, versus you're going to be doing something you don't like or working for someone else that you may not want to do, and just because you want to make money. So the goal obviously is to make money, but I think the long term goal is to create value and provide and make and help people is the main goal. That I think if you're out there trying to help people and you're trying to make a difference or solve problems, that should be your drive. The money will come, and the money will come because people are going to see that you're doing the things that are going to help people. You're solving problems, you're solving issues, and that's what's really going to make the difference. And building a system, like you said, is going to make it a lot smoother for you to be able to collect payment, so provide coaching, and have a system where people can interact and mingle within our community. And that's really what it comes down to. That's why we created our own product. We have our own blue ocean. We have our own sea of individuals that are interested in us. And I think that's where the beautiful part is, that you're able to create this for yourself,
Yeah.
and especially if you haven't done anything at all, this is a great opportunity for anyone.
Yeah. So I mean, master yourself. Create a money making system. Create attention. And then you got to take risks and be able to manage. I think it comes down to, like, once you have something, you can't settle, right? You got to keep risking and you got to keep growing. And you got to find mentors, like you said, that are already where you want to go, and basically take their guidance or learn from them, right? And be always improving yourself. But
Yeah.
money, that's how you make the real money, though. And you need to be in the right boat too. Like, you need to be in the right field, right? You're not going to make this kind of money and like a marble business. I mean, maybe you will. You'd be the biggest marble company in the whole world, but you got to be in the right industry to make some serious money. Like if you're going to be in real estate, you're gradually going to start with like wholesaling, and then you're going to start with single family or land, and then you're going to go up to apartments, and then you're going to go up to like massive buildings and skyscrapers, right? So there's got to be scale though in the opportunity that you're in, and you got to be able to identify that. And then you also need to be able to identify, hey, where's the biggest problems? Where's the biggest bottleneck in the business, right? Where's the biggest bottleneck in my money making system? And then you have to solve that, and you need to focus solely on that mission until it's solved, and your businesses will start to double, and you'll start to see the light, right? You also got to have the patience, and you got to put in the work, essentially. But mastering yourself, create the money making system, create massive attention, right? And then multiply money aggressively, right? And take educated risk, because you don't want to do all this work and then blow the whole business or the whole company in one foul swoop, right? You don't want to over leverage yourself. You want to basically have a I mean, maybe you do, maybe you go big and that's how you break through the next level. But most of the time you want to take risks that are going to be beneficial without damaging everything, right? So it's like if you make all your money and then you bet it all on one thing and that thing goes against you, that's not the best way to scale or how to get super rich. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So
and it's
manage your
also
risk.
learning. I think making a shit ton of money requires you to have access to the money to make money, right? You need money to make money, but
that's what I was gonna say too.
it's important to, you can work and save up your money and then try to make more money or try to invest that money. But then if you screw it up, you got to go work again, right? So it's like, well, why not do a different approach? Why not instead of risking your money, right? Don't risk your money. Risk other people's money, right? Or banks' money, and use that, as a leverage, and leverage that as your lever, right? Use that as your lever, and trust me, whatever you have saved, that's great. But I promise you, other people have more money than you do. I promise you that banks have more money than you do.
There's always a bigger
If you think
fish
you
in the
have
sea,
money,
man.
like I think I have money and I don't have money. Like people
Right.
that have money, like they have money.
Right.
And we're talking about the banks. We're talking about the top 1% elites. The people that have millions, billions, and maybe even trillions of dollars invested in real estate. They're like a hedge fund, or like for example, BlackRock, a perfect example. These guys have devoured real estate worldwide.
Yeah.
They're $19 trillion company.
Trillions of dollars. Yeah. That's
19
crazy.
trillion dollars. So, and then how do they go? Same thing with Vanguard.
Yeah.
Huge company, right? Huge company. They do investments. They do lending. They do a lot of things that a lot of businesses that are in the money industry do. So it's important to start to think like and instead of the employee, you think like the investor, right? The owner. You have to become the owner to start to build wealth. If you don't own anything, you cannot build wealth. Okay. You need to own assets. You need to own real estate. You need to own land. You need to own whatever you're doing, your business. You need to own everything. And that way, when you own it, then you have value and you have equity. And it all comes down to equity. And the more equity you have in business and real estate, in a deal that you're doing, and the more you're able to leverage that equity and start to build on top of it, just like your credit, right? Your credit is equity. Your credit is a building block. Your credit is a form of money that you can access and leverage. So start leveraging yourself, which is your credit, your score, your social security number that you were born with, and use that as your vehicle to start building your future.
Right. And then, I mean, I'll get into like kind of what I want to do to make a fucking shitload of money. this
Yeah.
next little bit. I
Yeah,
mean, what I want to do is I really want to focus on creative financing. That's kind of like my brick and mortar of my fucking next level. I really want to focus on selling digital products because digital products are easy. They're not easy to sell, but they're easy to fulfill on, right?
right.
Once I sell it, it's zapped to them through the internet, right? So I want to master selling things through email, through text, through Facebook. I want to master selling digital products. That includes affiliate products and stuff like that.
Yeah.
E-commerce. I don't think e-commerce is going away. I mean, basically the future, dude, you're going to like click a button and it's going to be at your door, basically. You know what I mean? The e-commerce is just going to keep being a monster. Day trading, I'm leveraging other people's money and making money. And then the main bread and butter is always going to be sales, marketing, and a service or a product, right? So those are how I'm going to be leveling up, right? And then basically the way that I'm thinking about it now is basically how we're going to turn those all into little systems, right? And then how we're going to get more attention for them. That's the whole thing, right? So I just told you guys, create your system, make it the best freaking system that possibly can be, and then create your attention system. You know, that's really what we should be thinking about too, is like, what's your system going to be? Like for attention, SEO is one system. It's where you rank on Google and Google puts you out there, right? TikTok is a whole nother system where you make little tiny videos, 1-minute videos, and you hope that one goes viral and you just make a bunch of them. Going live, like we're here, this is another kind of system where we go live every single Wednesday at 12 o'clock. That's our own little attention system. We should multiply that, but we also need to figure out what's working right now. You know, there's always new little hacks that you can get into. That's why Gary Vee is always kind of cool to listen to, because sometimes he has figured out some new hack to get more attention, right? So it's like, not only do you have to create the money-making system, maybe you need to create your attention system. How can you get your message out there? You know, how can you be in front of people? Because it's like, and it's all going to become paid media. That's kind of how I see most of marketing. You're not going to be able to get free attention anymore. You know, they just keep, they want to have their, even like you're going to put money in the machine if you want people to see you, right? And then you also have to cut through the noise. So you have to actually do really good. That's the other thing, though. You don't want to attract everybody. You want to attract the right people.
Yes.
So that's the other thing that we need. You know,
you have
big
to have
thing
a
we need to think
system
about
in place, like you said, to filter the people, the leads that you're gonna get, right?
Right.
You know, you might get a huge attention. Like you might get a lot of attention. You know, we might get so much attention. We don't want that kind of it. We want the good attention.
Yeah, you can get too famous, right?
Yeah, you can get too famous. You know, you don't want to be
go outside.
Yeah, you don't want to be in the red or in the black. You know, you want to be in the green. And the way you get in the green is by providing value, by providing engagement, providing questions and people that can answer these questions for you and ask questions to you, and you can resolve these problems. And that's what your purpose is. Your service, your ability to help people is going to make the difference. So I think I agree. We have a system. We have to work on it, but at the same time, I think other people can make a huge amount of money if they start to think outside the box and not be dependent on anything or anyone. The moment you're depending, if you could tell yourself right now that you're depending on your job, you're in a bad situation. Okay, if you're depending on your mom, your dad, you're in a bad situation. I don't care how old you are.
Yeah.
You know, if you're depending on anyone to keep you in a house and a place to live, so you can eat and drink and sleep, you're not in a good place. So you need to start taking actions towards becoming independent of others, right? Including your job. And that means creating multiple streams of income, creating, trying new things that you might be interested in, or starting a business that you already have skills doing. If you're good at art, if you're good at, working on cars, if you're good at, video editing, if you're good at taking photos, whatever you're doing, whatever your skill set is, start to monetize it, right? Start to create a product, start to create, basically like a menu of what people can buy, right? And then they can come in and can say, oh, I want to get this, I want to get this. Well, you provide certain services and you're able to sell that to the product. But again, attention, being able to get attention, that's getting harder and harder as we know. So at the same time, because there's so much stuff going on, you're competing against like, who was it? Was it you that told me? There was a guy that during 9/11, right? He started a business, and 9/11 happened, and he launched his business like that week. And like his business like got no attention. Okay.
Right.
That business went away. Like he got no attention. And he ended up basically, defaulting. He lost everything, right? Because
Yeah.
the attention was on something else. So yeah, sometimes bad luck doesn't do you the good, but it's also being aware of the news, being aware of what's going on in society. What are people thinking about right now?
Yeah.
What's happening in the world. There's a war that's coming out. Like, people are worried about World War III. It's like, well, where is the attention going? Well, it's going into Ukraine. It's going to, it's going to the Middle East, Israel, right? So all these places, right? So now the attention is there. The news is driving all the attention to this direction, and everybody's attention is driven towards that. And everybody's in a state of fear, right? It's
Yeah.
a state of fear, continuous fear. So, and that's when the money is made.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when people when the general public and the world are in a state of fear, and things are in the worst, you think that the world's about to end, things are about to crash, the real estate market is about to crash, the dollar is about to crash, whatever, the whole world's about to, Armageddon is here.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
so now you could either fold and
Right.
give up and fail, like probably 80 to 90% of the population, or you're going to be the 10 to 5 to 5 or 1% that's going to actually do something about it, and
Mm-hmm.
that's going to actually make the right moves towards being able to succeed. And that
Right.
means you need to do the right things. You need to place your money in the right places. You need to
Yeah.
place your time and attention in the right places. Instead of wasting your time at a job collecting a paycheck, maybe you could be spending your time building something, or using that time to create, or learning something. Actually, learning something is another thing. You're spending the time learning something. So it's time and attention. Those two things are very important. The moment I left engineering, time became available, and when you have a lot of time, you can do a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Versus doing that one thing that you do every day, 9 to 5, go to work, stand in front of your computer, and do the same thing every day. Imagine how much more you can do with your time if you
Right.
had the time.
Yeah.
So
Multiply your time.
multiply your time, multiply your money.
Right.
That's the way to do it. And it's gonna take work, it's gonna take hustle, it's gonna take dedication, and you're gonna have the fear of God in you, but you're gonna have to take it, because if you don't take that leap of faith and you never try, then you're never gonna actually, you're never gonna know what's gonna happen. You'll live with regrets, and you don't want to
Right.
live with regrets. You want to live with knowing that you tried, knowing that you did something good, and at the same time knowing that you're doing it for yourself, your family, and everybody that's involved is going to benefit. And that's what matters. It's like, it's not just about you, it's about everybody else. So when you start realizing that it's not about you, things become a lot easier.
Yeah.
Because it becomes it's not my problem, it's a problem, it's a world problem, it's a nation problem, it's a problem that's happening everywhere. It's something that is occurring worldwide or nationwide, depending on where your market is. So yeah, just start to think big and start to
Mhm.
take action. But realize that, be aware of the news, be aware of everything going on, and then take action necessary in the right direction. So maybe your product or your service may not be the right time. So then go learn some new skill. Go learn a new opportunity, like day trading or
Mhm.
e-commerce, or
Yeah.
campaign, or investing in campaign marketing. Like, these are all opportunities we have in Credit Leverage X. And on top of that, we have all the mentorship opportunities. So
Mhm.
Robert, you can talk about those as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, basically, I think we summed it up pretty good. But it's like, I just want people to think bigger. Like, you shouldn't be trying to fight to make fucking piddly money. You should be going all in on opportunities that are bigger than you, things that can 50x your life and change your life. Like, how to level up to break through to the next level. Like, you got to become a totally different person, right? Every new level of success requires a new version of you, and you have to be able to reach that level. And then every new level of finances needs a new system, a new money making system. And then for any business, you make your money from other people. So you have to be in the right circles, have the right relationships. Maybe you don't need attention to grow your business. Maybe you just need the right kind of people in your circle, right? That are willing to buy. And then the other thing is that I was thinking is, like, if you love what you do, you're going to become the best of it. So there has to be some part or something that you're putting all your work into besides money to make a shitload of money. Because a lot of times money comes as a byproduct of really just going down the rabbit hole and committing to something and figuring out what you find on the other side. I was thinking about it, like how I've made most of my breakthroughs is I just fucking run into a wall over and over and over, and then I finally find like a little tiny crack, and I like chip away at the crack, and then I break through. You know what I mean? Like I'm pretty hard headed. Like when I find something I want to do, I find one little thing that works, that pumps money into my account, and then I just exploit the shit out of that, and I make that into a new stream of revenue for myself, right?
Absolutely.
But it all comes down to failing as fast as I fucking can, and also just like learning more about whatever niche I'm in than anybody else, so I'm at least dangerous, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly the same mentality I have, Robert. When I started my real estate game, when you start real estate, it's buying your first house, it's scary. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if you can make the bills. You got a mortgage on your head, you got all this stuff. So it's like, well, especially at a young age, I was like 21, 22, it's like, wow, like, I can't imagine that doing that now. But I did it,
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, well, it just, that's, because I was very reckless. I was very ruthless. And I did things, before, like even going to like Six Flags. I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that anymore. I mean, I guess like taking unnecessary risk. As you get older, you want to take less risk technically, but you just have to realize that you have to always break it. So even though you're in that comfort zone, or you're doing good in your life right now and everything is chill, that's fine. But you need to start to become unchill. You need to start becoming broke again. Okay.
Yeah.
If you're not broke, if you're not broke all the time, then you're never going to change, right? You got to always be hungry, right? So whatever you make, take that money, set it aside, invest it in something that's going to either hold its value or it's going to go up in value, and then move on and go back and go get some more, because you always got to be hungry, and that's how you keep growing. You keep breaking that glass ceiling, is by continuously challenging yourself, continuously not settling for less, and just breaking through, finding those breakthroughs, just like Robert said, finding that crack in your business, finding that crack in interest like real estate, or if you're looking e-commerce or whatever you're looking at, finding that crack and being able to punch through it and relentlessly, continuously,
relentlessly,
not giving up,
you gotta be
like forcefully, like literally forcing it. Same thing happened with me when I bought my first property. Then I bought my second. I was like, shit. And then I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna push it more. And I'm like, and I got a third, and then I got a fourth, and then I got a fifth. I'm like, fuck this shit. I'm just gonna push this shit all the way until I
push it to the limit. Yeah.
Until I can't do it anymore on my own.
Now you are so grateful that past you did that.
Because I pushed myself. I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I don't care if I have to deal with another 5-6 people. I need to do this. So every time there's more and more barriers to deal with, more and more people to deal with, more and more risk, more and more liability, more and more bills. Like everything was more, piles up, but you just keep pushing through, and then eventually, you can't do it yourself anymore. And that's when you're like, okay, I hit the brick wall. I'm like, I need help. I'm like, all right, I need.
Now you got a team to push through.
Now I got to bring players, and I started to leverage people, right?
I guess that's another thing.
People, and then you bring in players, and then you start paying people, right? And then you're like, okay, money is not as important as time. So then you go from time to money. You switch your time, and you start to use your money instead of time. And that's how you multiply your time. That's how you multiply your money. You multiply your money by leveraging assets or people, multiplying your time, and multiplying your money in those efforts by having a team that's going to make money with you. And that's what really creates that monumental wealth change. But and I think that you get to a certain point where you have to start delegating. Okay, it's impossible that you can do everything. As much as entrepreneurs love to do everything, we're hard-headed. Trust me, I was super hard-headed, and I thought I could do everything, but I realized I can do a lot of things. I knew how to do a lot of certain things very well, and I knew a lot about a lot of things because I was a system engineer, and I had to know a lot of things about a lot of things. But I didn't know everything about every specific thing. As long as I knew enough to be dangerous, and that's that's where it matters. If you feel enough to be dangerous, then that's it. You're not in the position to have to do that specific task anymore. delegate it, right? Start
Right.
delegating, start multiplying your time, which will in essence multiply your money. That's a new quote
Yeah.
right there. Multiply your time, and as a result, you'll multiply your money.
Right. That's fire. I think that's good. Yeah, building a team is like probably the hardest part of the whole money making system. It's like you got to find the right people, and you got to teach them to do the right thing, and then you got to just keep cracking away while you are being asked. Right, whenever you hire somebody, typically you have to do their job plus your job for a little while until they figure it out. Right, so it's pretty wild.
Yeah.
I think that was good. Any other last thoughts on how to make a shitload of money or make some serious money?
Join Credit Leverage X.
Yeah, that's about
And
it.
and I promise you, you will come out better than when you started.
Right. If
That's
you
the
really want to
fact.
get ahead, I mean, you have to leverage to get any real money. You know what I mean? You have to have access to money to make money, essentially. And
You gotta
the
have
best way to
access
get
to
access to
money.
money is to, figure out how to use the banks and use your credit and use whatever assets you have,
Try to figure it out on your own, or join Credit Leverage X. We will do it for you, and we will guide you and teach you and help you invest in whatever you're trying to do and make your dreams come true. That's what matters. We're here to make dreams become reality.
Right. All right, guys. I think that's it for the day. I think that was fire. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.
Yep.